All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here on our. Wait, is this thing on? Oh. Thanks for joining us here on our Ellis Michael podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's Ricky here on this Monday, June the 8th of 2020. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to get to it's right now 10 minutes after 1 p.m. Eastern time in the U.S. Over the next maybe 30 minutes, we'll talk about what's going on Facebook and all that good stuff. But first, we need to talk about these record-breaking temperatures. As you probably know, coming up tomorrow, there's going to be record-breaking temperatures possibly, and even here in Canton, Ohio, we're looking at a high of 93 degrees, and but the forecast high is supposed to be 92 degrees, so we could be at 92 or 93. It really depends. So as you can see right here, I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt today because it is warm outside. Right now it's currently in the 70s, near 80 right now here at our headquarters in Canton, Ohio. So that's pretty good stuff there. I want to talk about, and also really quick for Wednesday coming up this week, there's a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the area that could be severe, and that's why the Canton, Ohio area is under a slight risk of showers and storms from the National Weather Service in Cleveland, Ohio. So definitely something to keep a close eye on. Large damaging hail, wind gusts, damaging isolated threat of a tornado, and frequent lightning possible. So definitely something to keep a close eye on, to be weather ready all day long. I want to talk about 9 NFL teams to keep a close eye on this NFL season. Now, as you probably may or may not know, the NFL regular season is coming up right around the corner very soon. Definitely a good year for a lot of NFL teams, including the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Cleveland Browns, Green Bay Packers, and a few other teams to keep a close eye on this season. It's because of a lot of these off-season signs that's going on right now throughout the course of the league. Just a lot of good old stuff going on right now. So for the next few minutes, I'm going to talk about this, give you guys my thoughts, and we'll move on to another topic. I have a lot of topics that I found interesting on Facebook that I'm going to talk about here today. One of these teams to keep a close eye on is Tampa Bay, and that's because of Tom Brady. Tom Brady, who has been with the New England Patriots now 20 years, he's going to play a few years with Tampa Bay and probably retire. And as you could probably know, if you're a Tom Brady fan, that would probably be the team to keep a close eye on. As a matter of fact, I'm actually wearing a mask right now, but keeping it down so you guys can hear me. So that's pretty interesting. The first team that I want to talk about is the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Buffalo Bills, I have them going 10-6 on this season, based off of basically one of the teams that I'm keeping a close eye on right now. But it's pretty possible that they could be the AFC East champs in the year 2020. I don't know if that's possible, but we'll always keep a close eye on things very closely. this is and really quick, I just want to mention about the Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Well, before we get to Tampa Bay, I want to talk a little bit about the Buffalo Bills and its history a little bit. Really quick, the Buffalo Bills is a team out of New York that I don't know has not won a Super Bowl yet, but we're gonna just move on to the back to Facebook and talk about more NFL teams coming up this season, because we're just here to talk about what's on our minds as much as possible here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to move on to something pretty interesting, to say the least. For example, ESPN has released its newest projected NCAA March Madness tournament bracket, and it talks a lot about the teams that possibly won in the national in college basketball, all that good stuff. So in the East, we have number 1 Villanova versus number 16 Robert Morris, and Delaware, and number 8 LSU versus number 9 Oklahoma, which I gotta say that's a pretty good team to keep a close eye on. And I got Villanova winning it all, because I've seen from previous years Villanova has became champion over the course of the last couple of years. So I got them winning it all. But we'll see what happens going forward. But how about this? In the East, number 4 Ohio State versus number 13 Belmont. Now, Ohio State, though, is a team that we have not won a basketball championship in the last several years. I'm hoping, though, is that this year is in 2021 actually is our year for a championship. And hey, a championship is always a championship, to say the least. Now, this is my very first video doing this in a private podcast thing that we're doing here at Ellis Michael, and I want to thank everybody for giving us this opportunity. I'm a little bit unorganized right now, but we're just talking about what's on our minds. Well, let me see what else we got here. But yeah, I want to talk a couple minutes about what the governor of Ohio has mentioned over the course of the last few days. If you're from Ohio and saw the press conference on Friday last week, the governor of Ohio has announced some extra reopenings for the state of Ohio. And as a matter of fact, though, June 19th, amusement parks and a few other places will be open around the state. And I think it's pretty amazing and exciting that Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio is opening up on June 19th. Possible open date right there, as they continue to get everything finalized and everything, get ready to go to open. Kings Island down near Cincinnati, Ohio is also opening up on that date. Museums, science museums. There's even one science museum in mind up in Northwest Ohio in Toledo that's opening up in September, but I'm not sure about the Science Center in Columbus, Ohio, that's opening up this summer at all. So definitely something to keep an eye on, to say the least. Let's see what else here that I'm thinking about wanting to say. Oh yeah, and then also zoos, aquariums, they're going to be opening up. There's even a rumor out there that there is possibly June 12th, which is coming up really soon for members only, that there could be reopen reopening stages there. So definitely something to keep a close eye on. I also want to talk about county. I want to talk about county fairs. There's a lot of county fairs that are being canceled right now here in the state of Ohio, and we got canceled here in Ohio. The Paulding County Fair, Marion County Fair. I'll go through these counties that are canceling their county fairs this year here in the state of Ohio. We got Paulding, Marion, Trumbull, Adams, Carroll, Butler, Vinton, also Columbiana, Medina, Cuyahoga, what else we got here? And that's about it. So there's only a few fairs, county fairs here in Ohio that has been announced canceled, and you heard it here on this live stream, today as well. I'm gonna try and work on some additional topics this evening tonight, and I'll hopefully I'll be back tomorrow for another live stream. We'll see what happens, but we do want to thank you guys. I thank you guys so much for tuning in for this brief podcast. I was not prepared with a lot of topics today, but this week is going to be different. This week is going to be pretty good, to say the least. I'll try to find some topics this evening after I leave here today, and then we'll go from there. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, and we'll see you back here very soon. Have a great day.